But to the degree that it takes hold and grows, it suggests a potential replay of last November's Rust Belt exasperation with the status quo, when the establishment of both parties, in addition to corporate America, were blindsided by a shakeup to the U.S. political order. What we're hearing from the Trumpies, Steve Bannon is railing against the lords of Silicon Valley, and advocating the regulation of the big tech companies as public utilities. The appeal resonates with rank-and-file Republicans, who broadly believe that Facebook and Google have it out for them, a Bannon ally tells Axios. They feel Facebook is weaponized against conservatives. A lagging indicator among ordinary conservatives, the issue is percolating, and, like the uprising against globalization last year, is not yet fully absorbed by elected officials. It will be a political issue on the right whether it's 2, 4 or 6 years from now, the Bannon ally said. Bannon is stirring the pot. Steve looks at Silicon Valley and says, today, corporate power is centered there, the ally said. He is saying that these are the guys running our lives, keeping our data, our content, and our communications. And let's not forget, during last year's election, Donald Trump said Amazon deserved antitrust scrutiny. The bottom line for conservatives, Silicon Valley is the new Wall Street, he said. Among Democrats, Tom Perriello, a former congressman from Virginia, warns of a tech-fueled groundswell against the political establishment. Voters are unconvinced, he said, that the technological trends of automation and Amazonization, the shift of retail shopping online, will benefit the many. The lessons of globalization. There is a deep belief that the elites of both parties blew it on globalization, Perriello said. They underestimated the downside risk, and overestimated the upside gain. There is a feeling that the elites have never learned that lesson. This is not a blue-haired issue, at least in Virginia. The dual issues of automation and Amazonization resonate most fully with two groups, rural Trump supporters, and black urban Democrats. These issues don't necessarily get raised unprompted, Perriello said of town halls he convenes. But when you raise them, the whole room lights up. Tech companies are on the line with Democrats, too. A key issue is well-paying jobs. Ro Khanna, a Democratic congressman who represents a Silicon Valley district and has been a consistent critic of Amazon, said tech companies need to ensure that jobs go equally to people in Youngstown and in Sunnyvale. The biggest challenge, he tells Axios, is jobs of the future. The bottom line: no one will challenge technological advance per se, but voters are vocal about the pace and shape of how it unfolds. People just don't trust that the elites will get these downside concerns right, Perriello said. The problem is starting to register in surveys. Tech companies enjoy high global trust, according to the 2017 Edelman Trust Barometer, a much-watched gauge of public sentiment conducted by Edelman, the public relations firm. Combined, 75% of the public in the US, China, Germany, Japan and the UK trust tech companies, Edelman said, making it the most trusted sector in business. But Edelman raised a red flag. Since the financial crash, trust in the banking industry has risen by 11 points, and energy has gained by 9 points. But tech's trust level has remained flat. The tech sector must continue to replenish its trust bank to maintain its historic leadership position, Edelman said. Go deeper. The companies face a more immediate regulatory threat in Europe. 5 women have accused veteran journalist Mark Halperin of sexual harassment during his time as political director of ABC News in the early 2000s, per a CNN report. All 5 shared their stories anonymously, given Halperin's continued power in political journalism. ABC News told CNN that no complaints were filed during Halperin's tenure with the network. The accusations: some of the women described situations in which Halperin groped them or pressed his clothed genitals against their bodies, which he denied to CNN. Others claimed that Halperin propositioned them for sex while on the road for ABC News. 2 more women have come forward since CNN published its report, per the Daily Beast. One former researcher at ABC in 1994, Diana May, told The Washington Post that Halperin told her to sit on his lap on several occasions while he had an erection. She told WAPO she did not speak out because of fear she would lose her job. "Who would believe me? It was an awful position to be in." Halperin's statement to CNN during this period: "I did pursue relationships with women that I worked with, including some junior to me. I now understand from these accounts that my behavior was inappropriate and caused others pain. For that, I am deeply sorry and I apologize. Under the circumstances, I'm going to take a step back from my day-to-day work while I properly deal with this situation." Why it matters. Google executives said the company's focus continues to be on long-term product growth, as opposed to short-term gains. They noted that investments in Alphabet's advertising, cloud and hardware businesses were key priorities. Its advertising business, including on YouTube, continues to thrive despite news that Russian-backed groups purchased ads on Google properties like YouTube and Gmail. By the numbers, total revenue was up 24% year-over-year to $27.77 billion, beating Wall Street analysts' expectations of $27.2 billion per Thomson Reuters estimates. Earnings were $9.57 per share, which also beat projections of $8.33 per share per Thomson Reuters estimates. Revenue for other bets Google-owned side projects like Nest and Verily increased 53% to $302 million year-over-year for Q3. President Trump will be releasing 2,800 files relating to President John F. Kennedy's assassination this evening, and withholding the rest until April 26, 2018 due to requests from various agencies, primarily the FBI and CIA, officials told reporters on Thursday. In a memo, Trump said that he has no choice but to redact information as requested by the agencies, citing concerns relating to national security, law enforcement and foreign affairs. Officials said information regarding JFK's assassination should stay disclosed after that 6-month period only in the rarest cases. As far as conspiracies go, NARA officials tell reporters that they will leave it to researchers to make significance of the files, but that the files released on Thursday will be easy to search for any specific topic people may be interested in. What the declaration means, it's very underwhelming in the sense that all it does is free up $57,000 more to try to address this problem, Rep. Ryan said. $57,000 could barely help Trumbull County, one of the 88 counties in Ohio, let alone the entire country. I don't think he understands the level of destruction that's happening in these communities. The Trump effect, it's kind of typical of Trump's approach to governing, where there's a lot of ceremony and smoke and mirrors, and when the dust settles there's not a whole lot that has been done. Ryan also said that the administration hasn't engaged him in discussions about solutions for the opioid crisis, even though he is a co-chair of the Addiction Treatment and Recovery Caucus and a member of the bipartisan Heroin Drug Task Force. Some of us were hopeful because he used this during his campaign a lot, so we thought he'd be aggressive, but he hasn't been, Ryan said. It took them 6 months to even do this declaration. Go deeper inside Trump's public health emergency declaration and what he said during his speech. Key takeaways: stocks likely fell in anticipation of a government crackdown on drug distribution companies, but Trump's speech did not contain specifics about federal action against distributors. News that Amazon is entering new markets has had the same effect on other industries, such as grocery chains. Amazon's move into pharmacy services was long anticipated. The end-of-day spike in CVS's share price might be explained by a Wall Street Journal report that CVS is considering an acquisition of insurance giant Aetna. Amazon announced earnings of 52 cents per share in the third quarter, well above analyst expectations of 3 cents per share, with the news sending the stock up more than 7% in after-hours trading. The Seattle retailer beat bottom-line expectations, all while maintaining sizable investments in a dizzying variety of business lines, from its suite of Alexa-enabled products, to brick-and-mortar bookstores, to its wind farm business, which launched its largest-ever 100-turbine farm in Texas this quarter. The bottom line: Amazon looks unstoppable in 2017, especially when compared to many of its peers in the largely struggling retail sector. If there is one statistic that reveals Amazon's dominance, it's that the firm will account for 43.5% of all e-commerce sales this year, according to eMarketer, up from 38.1% last year. CVS Health has proposed buying Aetna for $200 per share, The Wall Street Journal reports. That would value the transaction at more than $66 billion. Why it matters: this would be a gigantic buyout offer, one of the biggest of the year, if it goes through. CVS and Aetna, which already have a pharmacy contract together, would create a behemoth healthcare company with roughly $240 billion in annual revenue and substantial bargaining power over hospitals, drug makers and employers. The deal also would displace United Health Group as the largest health insurer and pharmacy benefits manager. The software giant reported per-share earnings of 84 cents, ahead of consensus estimates of around 72 cents, while revenue came in at $24.5 billion, ahead of Zacks' consensus projection of $23.5 billion. Here are some other highlights. Microsoft's Office commercial products and cloud services revenue increased 10%, as revenue from its Office 365 service for businesses grew 42%. Sales of Windows for new PCs were up 4%, ahead of the flat PC market. Microsoft saw sales from its Surface PC line up 12%, while gaming revenue from its Xbox unit was largely flat. LinkedIn accounted for about $1.1 billion of Microsoft's revenue.